Hi, my name is Jake. I'm 14. I have an 11-year-old brother. His name is James. My mother is 35. Her name is Jacqueline, and my dad is 36. His name is Jack. We also have a dog called Japonica. We live in Christchurch, Canterbury, New Zealand. It is 7:30 a.m. 22nd of February 2011. I'm just about ready for school. I'm just putting my shoes on. Mum, I'm ready for school, I said. Mama's not here, Jake. She went to do something for Canterbury TV, so I'll drop you off because I'm going to the cathedral for the day, said Dad. Okay. I was having a really good day until it happened. Miss, why is the ground shaking? I don't know. Ignore earthquake! The ceiling started to fall. It just missed me as I jumped under my desk. The ground was rolling, shaking, and dropping. I was terrified. The ceiling kept on falling, filling the room with dust. I couldn't breathe. All I could hear was the crashing of the ceiling and screaming. It was the worst day of my life. All I could think about was Mum, Jake, and Dad. I hoped they were okay. It's like the whole room was falling apart, and then it did. The whole roof fell. It almost killed me. The desk was crushed, and then so was I. I was hoping so much that it was a dream. If it wasn't a dream, then I hoped I would fall unconscious, but I didn't. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see, but I could feel tremendous pain. It was like being stabbed millions of times. Then I fell unconscious after an hour of pain. When I woke up, all I could hear were the sirens and the screams of the people who have lost their loved ones. I can still remember the screams. Someone is near. I can hear them. I'm here, I screamed. I'm here. There is somebody down there. Help me get them out. Okay, Richard. I could hear the rubble being moved around me. I was so happy but so sad when I got out. I couldn't see James. I hoped he was okay. School was no longer a school. All that was left were big piles of rubble and a very badly damaged office. I hobbled up to a firefighter and asked, "Where's James? Where's Mum? And where's Dad?" "They will be okay, son. We will find them soon." "Okay, promise me that you will find them." "I'm sorry, I can't promise you that." I cried more than I had cried before. I started to hobble around the city, trying to find home. All I could see was destruction, sorrow, and pain. Then I saw the cathedral. The steeple had collapsed, and the building was damaged beyond repair. Then I saw Dad's car. The rubble had crushed it completely. Then I saw a policeman. I asked, "Is my dad safe?" The policeman asked, "What is his name?" "Jack Shepherd, and he was doing some charity work for the cathedral." "Yes, I've seen him. He was badly injured. I think they took him to the hospital." "Do you know how I can get to the hospital?" "I'm sorry, mate, but you'll have to walk, as all the roads are damaged and there is lots of rubble on top of them." "It's okay, I'll walk. It's not too far." Saw Madras Street, I was shocked. The buildings have completely fallen down, with people walking on top of the rubble hoping to find their loved ones. When I saw the CTV building, it was completely destroyed. There was almost no standing structure left. I hope my mum was in the standing bit and not in the debris. "Have any of you found my mum?" I yelled. A medic came over to me and asked, "What's her name?" "Jacqueline Shepherd." "No, we haven't found her yet. My hopes of finding her alive just got crushed. I thought I would never see her again." I can't remember the next few minutes. I think I sat down on the rubble of the CTV building and cried. When I recovered my senses, I started walking to the hospital. I went past many destroyed buildings. Most of them were unrecognizable. Then I saw the hospital. I ran faster than I've ever run before. There was a policeman standing outside the door. I asked him if Jack Shepherd was in the hospital. He said yes. When I found Dad, I was so happy, but I could not hug him because he was too badly injured. I was also sad to see him in such a bad state. His leg was broken and badly cut, his arms were badly cut and bruised. His face had a deep cut along it. I didn't know nature could be so very powerful. Dad, do you know where James is? No, I don't, Jake. I hope he and Mum are okay. I hope so too. I'm going back to school if I can see if I can find James. Okay, Jake. When I got to school, I kept on asking people, "Where's James?" They normally said, "I don't know, Jake," or "He should be okay, Jake," or "I hope he's okay, Jake." I became so very sad because nobody actually knew where he was. Then I saw his teacher. She could give me some straight answers. I asked her, "Where's Jake?" She said, "I've seen him around, but it's so sad how one thing can destroy so many things. Buildings, lives, positions, everything. Also the school. The school used to be the most proud school in Christchurch, and now it's just a pile of wood, rocks, and steel. It's so very sad. Thanks, Mrs. Spencer, but can you be a bit more specific?" "No, sorry, Jake." Night I had to sleep in a tent. It was so very hard to sleep that night. I was scared of rubble falling on the tent and crushing us because of the aftershocks. The aftershocks were just a reminder of what the earthquake did. Also, I was hoping Mum and James were okay. Finally, the gift of sleep came. When I woke up, I was amazed no rubble had fallen on top of me and killed me. When I got out of my tent, the scene shocked me. Tall buildings are now short, short buildings are now debris. Everybody looks sad or depressed in some way, but I can see why. Later that day, I found James. He was in a bad state. His legs were grazed, he had cuts everywhere. It seems only I wasn't injured in the earthquake. Also, James was hobbling. I asked James a few questions. I think they were, "Are you okay? It hurts a little bit, but I'll be fine." "How long was it until they found you?" "About 3 hours. I was in art at the time. The room was completely destroyed." "Have you seen Mum?" "No, Jake," he sobbed. "Do you think Mum is okay, Jake?" "No, but I hope so." Then we cried while hugging each other. A little bit later, we decided to go home and see what type of state it was in. All the houses had cracks in them. Windows were smashed and the contents were damaged. Then we found our house. We were amazed how good it looked compared to the other houses. We went inside and there was Japonica. She was so happy to see us. She was jumping up and down. When our attention drew away from Japonica, we saw the inside of the house. It was in a reasonable state. We could sleep here tonight, we thought. I went over to the TV and turned it on. It didn't turn on, I thought to myself. Why wouldn't it turn on? The power lines were broken. In the end, we did decide to sleep at home. It was much more comfortable than the tent. When I woke up, I went outside and looked around. The streets looked really weird, very grey, and they reflected more. So I walked down and went onto the street. They weren't streets, they were silt and water. I'm pretty sure they call that liquefaction. That is not good and it smells really bad. Hey James, come and look at the streets. Jake, why is everything like that? Liquefaction, James. What's that? It's when there gets too much water in the ground and the ground has been shaken and the water and silt goes to the surface. Well then, we better start cleaning. We went through the sludge to the shed and at the back and got shovels and a wheelbarrow. Next week went like this. Wake up, get changed, go to get food, eat the food, take some back home, go to the hospital to see Dad, go to the CTV building to try and find Mum, go home for lunch, clean up the sludge, have dinner, clean more sludge, try and relax. It's quite hard to relax with the aftershocks, then sleep. After that week, Dad got out of hospital. We were so happy to see him up and running again. Dad spent most of his time looking for Mum, even though hope of finding her alive was now lost. After the next 2 days of searching, Dad found her. She was dead but still very pretty, Dad said to us. I could tell he was depressed. The funeral was next week. Went into the house and found our best black clothes. I can't believe Mum is gone. I thought she would be by my side till I was 50 at least, but now she's gone and I'm only 14. The funeral's depressing. I didn't know I could be so sad. Jake, James, Jack, and Japonica are still helping Christchurch rebuild. They are still sad about their loss of Jacqueline. They later figure out that the earthquake was a 6.3 magnitude and 5 k's deep, and the aftershocks are still going on. The government has lost 40 billion rebuilding the city. I got my information from Wikipedia and Google.